From the Storm segment of the show, we go into our Sounders, and we have our first really positive week for the club, for the Rave Green, in quite some time. I know we've had a few wins to look over, but they haven't always equated to the best overall week for the club. This time we do, which is pretty remarkable. And all began on the 8th with a U.S. Open Cup round of 32 match against Louisville City FC down at Starfire. So we go into it. Louisville City FC, in regulation, it would end tied 2-2, but our Sounders would win by a score of 5-4 in penalties. Our player of the match, goalkeeper Andrew Thomas, 4 saves, and he scored the winning goal in penalties. Yes, he scored the winning goal. He called the Sounders player off, and he took it himself to bury it in the win. The Sounders did have a 2-goal lead. Some nice play, nice set piece with an assist from Danny Leyva. Created the first goal of the match. I got to find out here. I believe it was Paul Rothrock who scored first. Let me get this right. We're going to get it right. Yes, it was Paul Rothrock in the 41st minute, and then the 63rd minute, Danny Musovsky scored to give the Seattle a 2-0 lead. You're like, all right, this is nice. Then in the 67th minute, though, Louisville City scores a penalty on a handball call that was a little iffy. And in the 89th minute, Louisville City ties it up. Neither team is able to do anything in the overtime periods, and we go into penalties where, as I mentioned, Andrew Thomas wins it in a legendary week that we'll talk a little bit more about later on. We go over here back to MLS regular season action. May 12th at the Portland Timbers, a 2-1 victory. Our player of the match, midfielder Christian Roldan, an 8.3 match rating, 1 goal, 1 shot, an 88% passing percentage, and 8 passes into the final third. I believe that's Christian's 5th goal against the Timbers in his career. Let me get this right. Get it right. Christian was also man of the match. Yeah, as I mentioned. 5th career goal against the Timbers that ranks 4th on the Sounders all-time list. It's the first win for the Sounders against Portland since 2021 when they also did it down in Portland in a big way. So really fantastic for Seattle to be able to do that. The pre-match injury report at Portland, 3 players out. Midfielder Josh Atencio out with a hamstring injury. He might be able to go this upcoming week. Forward Bradilio Rodriguez continues to deal with a hamstring injury, and defender Nathan out with a quad injury. As we've mentioned, he's going to be out for a few weeks. Questionable players, 3 of them here. Leo Chu questionable with a groin injury. Midfielder Pedro de la Vega is getting back. He was questionable with that hamstring injury, and defender Yemar Gomez Andrade out with the quad injury. Still wondering how long he will fully be out. Well, just looking at it here, I mean, it's a massive week, just in terms of confidence, in terms of the results, in terms of pushing yourselves forward. Just for the Sounders, considering, I like the quote that Brian Schmetzer had after the match against Louisville in that U.S. Open Cup round of 32. He said that, the U.S. Open Cup results have been able to spur on the regular season club results in years past, and that just might be what this team needed. You get some of the younger guys out here, you get the intimate experience of Starfire, you kind of bring it back to you strip away the sport to its roots, and you see it in its pure form to an extent with the chaos of what the U.S. Open Cup is, and it can kind of help you recenter, right? So I don't know. It's really positive to get that win. It's a thrilling victory. A guy who's been big for the Sounders so far this year, and Andrew Thomas, to perform like he did, to get the win over Portland, helps you move above them in the standings, knock them down lower in the standings. Both sides of that Cascadia rivalry, not in the best of places in the standings so far this year, but it didn't matter. It was still a hell of a match. I mean, the Timbers had an opportunity on a free kick late, and they were able to miss that. It's always great to beat Portland. So, no, I mean, this could be really big for the confidence of the club moving forward, to be able to get, these 2 results and to have a few, a piece of news that we'll talk about here in a second with team news is pretty big as well. So we'll get to it. Back on the 6th, Monday, the team signed goalkeeper Andrew Thomas to a contract extension. It was announced that he signed a new 3-year contract through the 2027 season, with club options in 2028 and 2029. Thomas originally joined the Rave Green back in 2021 following a collegiate career at Stanford. He's made nearly 50 professional appearances across all competitions, including 5 MLS regular season games this season for the Sounders. Thomas, who's 25, was originally selected off of waivers in 2021 following the conclusion of the NCAA men's soccer season. An alum of Stanford, he's made 49 professional appearances across all competitions in his career, including 35 for the Tacoma Defiance, which is Sounders' MLS Next Pro affiliate. He led the Defiance goalkeepers with 15 MLS Next Pro appearances in last season before being loaned to New Mexico United, appearing in 9 matches to close out the 2023 USL Championship campaign. He serves primarily as Stephen Fry's backup this season, but because Fry has been injured, he's been the primary starter. Thomas made his MLS debut in the club season opener against LAFC and has gone on to make 5 appearances for the club so far. Prior to joining the Sounders, Thomas was a 3-time All-Pac-12 first-team selection at Stanford. He won his 3rd Pac-12 championship with the Cardinal in spring of 2021, leading the conference with a 0.69 goals against average and recording 4 shutouts. The Moscow-born Watford FC Academy product tallied 55 appearances over 3 seasons with Palo Alto, compiling a 35-10-11 record with 23 shutouts. He's also spent time with the U.S. U23 men's national team. So nice to get Thomas locked up there. I mean, with the way that he's been playing, really since the season began, it makes sense. And with Stephen Cleveland leaving in the offseason, you were kind of wondering who the heir apparent would be behind Stephen Fry, and it seems pretty obvious after this news that they've extended Thomas, that it's going to be him, and they feel confident in that. So nice to see there. You feel the confidence in him. Also, the news that we got in team-related news, the next day after the win over Louisville City, the Sounders will face Phoenix Rising FC in the 2024 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup round of 16. That match is on May 22nd at Starfire Stadium with a 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time kickoff. Tickets will go on sale. They're already on sale, starting back on the 10th. All matches in the round of 16 will be streamed on usopencup.com, uslsoccer.com, and mlssoccer.com. Okay, yep, that's all I've got for that. We look ahead here. The Sounders sit at a 3-win, 5-loss, 4-overtime loss record. They have 12 points on the MLS season so far, good for 19th in all of MLS and 10th in the Western Conference. Looking ahead, they've got 2 matches in regular season play over the next week, so things really aren't slowing down for the Sounders. May 15th at Real Salt Lake is a 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time start. That's on Apple TV MLS Season Pass. And then May 18th in the 3rd Cascadia rivalry match that they'll play this season. So far, the Sounders will host the Vancouver Whitecaps once again with a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. This match also Apple TV MLS Season Pass.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Jen.
Hey. So where are you going to watch all of the Sounder away games this year?
Away games for the Sounders. Since Rough and Tumble is the home of Circling Seattle Sports, I was thinking of coming here, if that's okay with you.
I think that's a great idea. Go Sounders. Hope we see y'all here.